Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Welcome to this morning's Srimad Bhagavatam class. It's from Canto 2, Chapter 3, and text 2 through 7. Those are 6 texts together. So I'm feeling in this morning, and without further ado, I'll start the class. Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari, Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari, Gopi Janavallabha गिरिवादधारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभा गिरिवादधारी यशोदनन्दना व्रजजानरञ्जना यशोदनन्दना व्रजजानरञ्जना जमुना तीरा वनचारी जमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभा गिरिवादधारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभा गिरिवादधारी यशोदनन्दना व्रजजानरञ्जना यशोदनन्दना व्रजजानरञ्जना जमुनातीरा वनचारी जमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य स्तोत्र सतशिष्य महाराज divine grace AC Bhaktivedanta Swami Shri Prabhupada की जय जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य स्तोत्र सतशिष्य महाराज divine grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj Prabhupada की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवाचार्य गौर भक्तवृंद की जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय वृंदावन धाम की जय मथुरा धाम की जय नवद्वीप धाम की जय जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय जगन्नाथ स्वामी की जय गंगा माई की जय जमुना माई की जय तुलसी देवी की जय भक्ति देवी की जय हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय सामवेद भक्त वृंद की जय निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल all glories to the assembled devotees Hare Krishna all glories to the assembled devotees Hare Krishna all glories to the assembled devotees Hare Krishna all glories to the lotus feet of Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishna Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Tirtha Swami Nityananda Namaste Krishna Padaya Prabhupada Sudapani Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Bhakti Tirtha Nityananda Narayana Namaskritya Narom Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayam Vajirayat Nasya Prayesva Bhadresu Nityam Bhagavati Sevaya Bhavati Uttamasloke Bhakti Bhavati Naishiki Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Hare Krishna Devotees Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 3, Text 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. It is not too surprising. You may see 6 texts together, but actually they talk about the same topic. So there is no mistake here. Brahmavacha sakamastu pyajita brahmanapatim Indram indriya kamastu prajakama prajapatim Devim mayam tu kamas tejas kamo vibhavasum Vasukamo vasun rudran virya kamo taviryavan anadya kamastu taditim Swarga Kamo Dite Sutan Vishwan Devan Raja Kama Sadhyan Sam Sadako Visham Ayus Kama Srinau Devao Pushti Kama Ilam Yajet Patishta Kama Purusho Roda Silokamataro Rupa Vikamo Gandavan Shri Kamo Psara Uvashim Adipatya Kama Sarisham Yajita Parameshtinam Yagyam Yajat Yashashkamam Kosha Kama Pratetasam Vidya Kamastu Girisham Dampatyarta Umam Satim Brahmavacha Sakamastu Yajita Brahmana Patim Indram Indriya Kamastu Prajakama Prajapatin Devi Maya Tusti Kamas Tejas Kamo Vivavasum Vasu Kamo Vasun Rudran Virya Kamo Taviryavan Anadya Kamas Twaditing Swarga Kamo Ditesitan Vishwan Devan Rajya Kama Sandhyan Samsadako Visham Ayuskamo Shvino Devao Pushtikama Ilam Yajet Patishya Kama Purusho Rodasi Lokamatarao Rupa Bikamo Gandharvan Strikamo Pshara Urvasim Adipatya Kama Sarvisham Yajita Pramatistinam Yagyam Yajat Yashas Kama Kosha Kama Pratetasam Vidya Kama Stugirisham Dampartyata Umam Shatim Brahmavacha Sakamastu Yajita Brahmanapatim Indram Indriya Kamastu Prajakama Prajapatim Devim Devim Mayam Tushri Kamas Teja Kamo Vivavasum Vasukamo Vasun Rudran Virya Kamo Taviryavan Anadya Kamas Twaditim Swarga Kamo Dites Sudan Vishwan Devan Raja Kama Sandhyan Sam Sadako Visham Ayus Kama Swinau Devao Pushti Kama Ilam Yajet Patishta Kama Purusho Rodasi Lokamatarao Rupa Bikamo Gandharvan Strikamo Psara Urvashim Adipatya Kama Sadisham Yajita Parameshtinam Yagyam Yajat Yashaskama Koshakama Pachetasam Vidya Kamastu Girisham Dampatyata Umam Satin Hare Krishna. Maybe we can have one person try to do this if you feel up to it.
Brahmavarchashakamastu yajeta brahmanapatim Indramindriyakamastu prajakama prajapatin Devemayantuk shrikamas tejas kamo vibhavasum Vasu kamo vasun rudran virya kamo taviryavan Anandya kamastwaditim svarga kamodite shutan Viswandevan rajva kama sadhyan samsadako visham Ayus kamos vina Ayus kamos vino devo pushti kama ilam yajet pratishta kama purusho rodasi lokamatarom Rupa bikamo gandharvan strikamo psara urvashim adipatya kame sarvesham yajeta paramishtinam Yajnam yajat yashaskama koshakama prachetasham vidya kamastu girisham dhampat yarta umam satim. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, go ahead.
Brahmavachas kamastu yajat brahmanapatim. Indramindriya kamastu prajakama prajapatim. Devi mayam trisri kamasteja kamasmo vibhavasum. Vasukamo vasun rudram virya kamo to viryavan. Annadya kamastvaditim swarga kamo dite sutan. Vishwan devan rajya kamaha Sandhyan sadhako visham Ayushakama Vishwano Devo Pushtikama Ilam Yajit Pratistakama Purusho Rodasi Lokamataro Rupabhikamo Gandharvam Srikamo Apsara Urvashim Adhipatyakama Sarvesham Yajit Paramestinam Yadnam Yajit Yeshakamaha Koshakama Prachetasam Vidyakamastu Girishim Dampityartho Mam Satim.
Right. Batayo, Batayo. Hare Krishna. Congratulations. Anyone else want to try it? Okay, we'll do word for word at this point. Brahma, the absolute. Rajasa, effulgence. Kamatu, but one who desires in that way. Yajita, do worship. Brahmana of the Vedas. Patim, the master. Indram, the king of heaven. Indriya Kamatu, but one who desires strong sense organs. Prajakama, one who desires many offspring. Prajapatin, the Prajapatis. Devin, the goddess. Mayam, unto the mistress of the material world. To, but. Srikama, one who desires beauty. Teja, power. Kama, one who so desires. Vibhavasum, the fire god. Vasukama, one who wants wealth. Vasu, the Vasu demigods. Rudran, the Rudra expansions of Lord Shiva. Viryakama, one who wants to be very strongly built. Atha, therefore. Viryavan, the most powerful. Ana-adya, reigns. Kama, one who so desires. To, but. Aditim, Aditi, mother of the demigods. Swarga, heaven. Kama, so desiring. Aditi Sutan, the sons of Aditi. Vishwan, Vishwadev. Devan, demigods. Rajakama, what those who hanker for kingdoms. Sadhyan, the Sadhya demigods. Samsadaka, Samsadaka, what fulfills the wishes. Visham, of the mercantile community. Ayukama, desirous of long life. Ashwina, the two demigods known as the Ashwini brothers. Deva, the two demigods. Pushtikama, one who desires a strongly built body. Ilam, the earth. Yajed, must worship. Pratishtha, Pratishtha Kama, one who desires good fame or stability in the post. Purusha, such men. Rodasi, the horizon. Lokamatara, and the earth. Rupa, beauty. Abhikama, positively aspiring for. Gandharvan, the residents of the Gandharva planet who are very beautiful and are expert in singing. Sri Kama, one who desires a good wife. Apsara Uvashim, the society girls of the heavenly kingdom. Adipatya Kama, one who desires to dominate others. Sarvesham, everyone. Yajeta, must worship. Parameshtinam, Brahma, the head of the universe. Yagyam, the personality of Godhead. Yajet, must worship. Yashakama, one who desires to be famous. Koshakama, one who desires a good bank balance. Pachetasam, the treasurer of heaven known as Varuna. Vidya Kamatu, but one who desires education. Girisham, the Lord of the Himalayas, Lord Shiva. Dampatya Artha, and for conjugal love, Umam Satim, the chaste wife of Lord Shiva, known as Uma. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. One who desires to be absorbed in the impersonal Brahma Jyoti effulgence should worship the master of the Vedas, Lord Brahma, or Brihaspati, the learned priests. One who desires powerful sex should worship the heavenly king Indra, and one who desires good progeny. One who desires good progeny should worship the great progenitors called the Prajapatis. One who desires good fortune should worship Durga Devi, the superintendent of the material world. One desiring to be very powerful should worship fire, and one who aspires only after money should worship the Vasus. One should worship the Rudra incarnations of Lord Shiva if he wants to be a great hero. One who wants a large stock of grains should worship Aditi. One who desires to attain heavenly planets should worship the sons of Aditi. One who desires a worldly kingdom should worship Vishwadev. And one who wants to be popular with the general mass of population should worship the Sadhya demigod. One who desires a long span of life should worship the demigods known as the Ashwini Kumaras. And a person desiring a strongly built body should worship the earth. One who desires stability in his post should worship the horizon and the earth combined. One who desires to be beautiful should worship the beautiful residents of the Gandhava planet. And one who desires a good wife should worship the Apsaras and the Urvashi society girls of the heavenly kingdom. One who desires domination of others should worship Lord Brahma, the head of the universe. One who desires tangible fame should worship the personality of Godhead. And one who desires a good bank balance should worship the demigod Varuna. If one desires to be a greatly learned man, he should worship Lord Shiva. And if one desires a good marital relation, he should worship the chaste goddess Uma, the wife of Lord Shiva. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. There are different modes of worship for different persons desiring success in particular subjects. The conditioned soul living within the purview of the material world cannot be an expert in every type of materially enjoyable asset, but one can have considerable influence over a particular matter by worshiping a particular demigod, as mentioned above. Ravan was made a very powerful man by worshiping Lord Shiva, and he used to offer severed heads to please Lord Shiva. He became so powerful by the grace of Lord Shiva that all the demigods were afraid of him until he at last challenged the personality of Godhead, Sri Ramachandra, and thus ruined himself. In other words, all such persons who aspire after gaining some or all of the material objects of enjoyment, or the gross materialistic persons, are on the whole less intelligent, as confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, text 20. It is said there that those who are bereft of all good sense, or whose intelligence is withdrawn by the deluding energy of Maya, aspire to achieve all sorts of material enjoyment in life by pleasing the various demigods, or by advancing in material civilization under the heading of scientific progress. The problem of life in the material world is to solve the question of birth, death, old age, and disease. No one wants to change his birthright. No one wants to meet death. No one wants to be old or invalid, and no one wants diseases. But these problems are solved neither by the grace of any demigod, nor by the so-called advancement of material science. In the Bhagavad Gita, as well as in the Srimad Bhagavatam, such intelligent persons have been described as devoid of all good sense. Shukadev Goswami said that out of the 8,400,000 species of living entities, the human form of life is rare and valuable. And out of those rare human beings, those who are conscious of the material problems are rarer still. And the still more rare persons are those who are conscious of the value of Srimad Bhagavatam, which contains the messages of the Lord and his pure devotees. Death is inevitable for everyone, intelligent or foolish. But Maharaj, Pariksit Maharaj has been addressed by the Goswami as the Manisi, or the man of highly developed mind, because at the time of death, he left all material enjoyment and completely surrendered unto the lotus feet of the Lord by hearing his messages from the right person, Shukadev Goswami. But aspirations for material enjoyment by endeavoring persons are condemned. Such aspirations are something like the intoxication of the degraded human society. Intelligent persons should try to avoid these aspirations and seek instead the permanent life by returning home back to Godhead. Oma Gnati Mirandasya Gyana Gyana Shalakaya Chakshu Unmilitam Dina Tasma Shri Gurve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Dina Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadama Indanati Swapadantikam. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharini Nirvishesha Sunyavari Paschatya Sitarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Jai. So the translation again. One who desires to be absorbed in the impersonal Brahmajyoti effulgence should worship the master of the Vedas, Lord Brahma, or Brihaspati, the learned priests. One who desires powerful sex should worship the heavenly king Indra, and one who desires good progeny should worship the great progenitors called the Prajapatis. One who desires good fortune should worship Durga Devi, the superintendent of the material world. One desiring to be very powerful should worship fire. And one who aspires only after money should worship the Vasus. One should worship the Rudra incarnations of Lord Shiva if he wants to be a great hero. One who wants a very large stock of grains should worship Aditi. One who desires to attain the heavenly planets should worship the sons of Aditi. One who desires a worldly kingdom should worship Vishvadev, and one who wants to be popular with the general mass of population should worship the Satyad demigod. One who desires a long span of life should worship the demigods known as the Ashwini Kumaras. And a person desiring a strongly built body should worship the earth. One who desires stability in his post should worship the horizon and the earth combined. One who desires to be beautiful should worship the beautiful residents of the Gandhava planet. And one who desires a good wife should worship the Apsaras or the Uvashi society girls of the heavenly kingdom. One who desires domination over others should worship Lord Brahma, the head of the universe. One who desires tangible fame should worship the personality of Godhead, and one who desires a good bank balance should worship the demigod Varuna. If one desires to be a greatly learned man, he should worship Lord Shiva. And if one desires a good marital relation, he should worship the chaste goddess Uma, the wife of Lord Shiva. Hare Krishna. So Shukadev Goswami broke down the things that people aspire for who are materialists and connected them with the different demigods that they could worship if they desire those things. We know the demigods are in the heavenly planets. And while they are, given different types of position to help the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, run matters in the material world, they also, because of the powers and material wealth in different ways given to them, they can also give. The demigods are pious, and pious people, if you request things from them, one of the properties of a pious person is they don't mind giving it all. They'll just share what they have. The demigods, by material standards, have plenty. We can't even imagine what they have sitting here on this earth. Compared to the earth, they have a whole lot more. People talk about billionaires and a few, very, very few trillionaires. There's a whole thing about how they became trillionaires. But for the most part, the few people who are very rich are called billionaires. Billions of dollars, that's nothing compared to what the demigods have. They have way more than that. Now, later on, we'll talk about what a resident of the spiritual world has access to. Remember, these are demigods for a universe, one universe. They have so much, yes, that's there. Now, Srila Prabhupada says in the purport, let's go to Srila Prabhupada, describes the general statement, which is what has been offered, what has been made available for those who want material things and how to go about it. Now, so some people may be hearing this and thinking, there are some of those things in there that I definitely would like in my life. Sukadeva Goswami says, there's a demigod you can just do puja to and get to that point. And there are devotees who've done that. There are people who are non-devotees. I know one story of one person. He's actually a temple president now. And he admitted that he did, in fact, worship Lord Shiva. But at that time, he hadn't come to Krishna consciousness yet. So I said there are some devotees. There are people who are devotees now. He worshipped at that time Lord Shiva to obtain material boons. And I personally did not ask him whether he got it, but from his background now, it looks like at that time, Lord Shiva fulfilled his aim. But he became wiser by the mercy of His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami. He became a disciple. And in fact, I happened to be there on the day that Gopal Krishna Goswami initiated him. So he put all of these things aside and became a Krishna Bhakta. Now, we are also told by Srila Prabhupada to become Krishna Bhakta. And as far as wealth is concerned, well, then let's tell something from the Brihad Bhagavatam Gita. When we go back to Godhead, and I didn't say if, I said when. We'll explain why we say when we go back to Godhead. When we go back to Godhead, what's available? Remember all these demigods, because I'm going to make a comparison here. All these demigods are demigods for one universe. One universe. So there's other, as we all know, there's one Brahma per universe. So we are sitting in this one universe, so you can definitely do puja, as Sukadeva Goswami has described, if you want particular type of material, conveniences, for lack of a better word. Now, the resident of a spiritual world has access to wealth that is more than the wealth in the universes. I didn't say one. I said universes. This is stated in the Bhagavad. Of course, I didn't say ownership because the correct word is we have access to. The fact of the matter is we don't own anything, not even in the material world. We don't. We came here with nothing. As a baby, we were born, we had nothing, not even clothes to put on now. Everything was just given to us. We had nothing. And when we leave the body, we can't take anything with us. So the real truth is we don't own anything. But in this short period now, because of Kali Yuga, this short period of time that we live here, some might want some things. And so you begin to think, let the intelligence kick in and say, but if I came with nothing, and if I can't take anything with me, why do I want a whole lot of things now? And what am I going to do with them? And if I get them, isn't it going to be temporary because death will take everything away? Well, the answer is, yeah, that's good reasoning, but There's more to it. There's more to it because one, those things that we aspire for do not belong to us. We are only given a chance to use them. It's almost like it's leased. And when you go lease a car, you can drive a car, everybody would think that you own the car. But at a certain period of time, you are sending the car back to the owner. That's our situation. Now, the other part of it is, so we desire these things, do a puja to a particular demigod, and get whatever it is that we want. Then what? Then what? We're going to show off? What's the gain there? In the meantime, death is coming. So Srila Prabhupada says, if we really want to solve the situation of this earth, then we should get to the solution of the problems of life. The question of birth. We come into this particular material world or whatever planet we're put on, and immediately, just because we are born, we have situation of trouble. That's there. We are quite weak, and anything can happen to a little baby. We start very, very, very humble beginnings because the body is so small and it can only do so much. And there's only so much intelligence that's there that is even accessed. So we start like that, and death, that also comes, and it gives us problems, pain, and old age. Many old age people become invalids. The body doesn't work well. And we know of diseases. You go to the hospitals are not short of patients at all. There's a whole bunch of folks coming to the hospitals. So birth, death, old age, and disease, that's the real problem of life. And Srila Prabhupada explains, no one wants to change his birthright. No one wants to meet death. No one wants to be invalid because of old age. And no one wants diseases. But none of these demigods can solve any of those problems. Even if we worship a demigod to get a strong body, and Srila Prabhupada one time gave a lecture about it, and in the middle of a lecture, he mentioned that some people in America go to gyms and they take nutrient supplements and they get a very strong body. And when they're walking down the street, people look at them and they just get this inspiration. They're very, very strong. Your Papa said, they get strong bodies as if they're not going to die. Just one point. All of the strong people, they will meet death. As a matter of fact, many of the people who are bodybuilders, as we call them, who have taken supplements, they have actually met some sort of disturbance to their physical bodies later in life, in all kinds of different situations. I won't get into details about it, but it's there. People had mental problems. People had physical problems, even though on the outside, the body looks very strong. But disease and old age set in. And definitely, whoever is strong or not strong, they will meet death. So that's the real problems: birth, death, old age, and disease. On top of that, Shukadeva Goswami reminds us that there's 400,000 species of human beings. They are very rare to get into. 8 million of them are there that are non-human beings without the intelligence to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You can't reason from the 8 million types of bodies when we get putting those compared to the 400,000. So it's already rare. In percentages, it's a little less than 5%. 5 out of 100% that can be in the human species. That is comparing 8,400,000 species to just 400,000 species. That's the fraction in percentage. It's actually 4.76%. We did the calculation. So over 95% of the types of living entities that there are non-human. They cannot get out of the material world. So the human form of life is rare. And it is also valuable because it has the intelligence to allow us to get out of the material world. Now, with that group of those in the human bodies, it is also explained that those who are conscious of the material problems are rarer still. Many people are saying, I'm on the earth and I should do the best that I can in order to achieve something that I want, that I will have more of compared to what other people have. So we go after that. And to this day, there are people who study and they choose careers from the universities based on them being able to get a high salary from it because they want money and good living. But everybody that's chosen that, I'll just take one example, the medical profession. If you become a medical doctor, or you become even in the medicine surgeon, if only we knew how much surgery disturbs the sleep times of the surgeons, we would think again. Many, 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 many situations. And that's not the only thing. There are different places too, different types of jobs too, that kind of hold us and they wreak havoc on our health. So the saying is that when we're young, we sacrifice our health for wealth. And then we get wealth. And then, well, life is the way it is. You grow, you get older and get invalid. The body starts breaking down. So now you have to take care of the body because you get sick more because of the body breaking down. So now we sacrifice the wealth that we got to pay our health bills, medical bills. So a man sacrifices as a young person their health for wealth, and then they get old, then they sacrifice the wealth for the health. So basically, they start one point to this point. Here, now they become wealthy, and then later on, the wealth has gone back. So what do? Right back to zero. All the money that you spent. And it is so much of a mockery to think about it. The person that's intelligent would ask, why am I doing this? What's happening to other people? It will happen to me. As Sri Papa, when he was leaving his body, as an older body, the body was old and devotees were morose. But he told them, don't think this won't happen to you. Because everybody will also get old. And that time has come. People have gotten older. At that time, they were teens to the mid-20s. And Sri Papa left his body. But of course, we are very fortunate to have Sri Prabhupada leaving so much that we can refer to. The time that he spent writing the books and getting them printed. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful strategy. Behat Madanga to distribute Krishna consciousness all over the world. And he did it in-house. He had the printers made so that he could print, so that he wouldn't be at the mercy of some printing company or when they get things out. BBT has his own printing presses. So then you can churn the books and the devotees will go out and give them out. This is a mercy being shown because very, very few who are human beings know the material problems. Then Sri Prabhupada says, even still more rare are those who are conscious of the value of Srimad Bhagavatam. Which contains the messages of the Lord and his pure devotees. Srimad Bhagavatam tells us things as they are, talks about the problems here and talks about what is in the spiritual world and how to go. And the things that we need to do to understand what Bhakti Yoga is. And the faults that we probably can fall in there, it is also explained how to get out of that. So, Srila Prabhupada explains here that Pariksit Maharaj was called Manisi, the man with a highly developed mind. Why? Because at the time of death, he had 7 days to live because of the curse. He left all the material enjoyment and surrendered to the lotus feet of the Lord by hearing the messages from the right person. Now let's think about Pariksit Maharaj for a minute. So he was cursed to die. Now, before his curse, he was the emperor. The emperor of the world is automatically an extremely wealthy person. Many of these things that people just pray to demigods for, he had them. He didn't have to pray to any demigod for anything. He had it all. He had it all. In the hostile life. He had it all. He had very wonderful sons. He had wealth, money. He had the stable of different animals at that time that you could want. The horses, the elephants. He had it all. He had it all. But when death was coming, he left all of that and went to meditate at the bank of the Ganges. And Shukadeva Goswami came by the arrangement of Sri Krishna to come tell him how to prepare to leave the body. We are also going to leave the body. Therefore, we need to know how to prepare to leave the body. Preparation to leave the body should not involve material desires, because in the material desires, if we get those desires fulfilled, then there would be a situation where we're getting ready to leave the body. And now, because we're so attached to the material things that are there, that we got, we're thinking about those. And that thought will obviously, as we said in the Bhagavad Gita, lead us to get another material body. So for devotees, one, we all should understand that initiated or not initiated, even at this stage, if you say yes to Krishna, you are going back to the spiritual world where you have access to wealth more than it's even in millions of universes. It's all there. Don't aspire for little peanuts here and call yourself a billionaire when in fact you have only peanuts compared to what's in the spiritual world. So we have to, intelligence tells us, we have to prepare to go back to Godhead, to get access to a better life with no anxiety. And some of the problems that we have to face in order to just live, all of them are gone. All of them are gone. We say some because different people have different types of problems that they face. But everybody faces birth, death, old age, and disease. So it has been stated in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, knowledge of the absolute, in text 20, Kamaistarita Shrita Papadante na Devata. Tam tam niyanam astaya prakritya niyata svaya. The translation is, those whose intelligence has been stolen by material desires, those whose intelligence has been stolen by material desires. Therefore, if that's not even the end of the sentence. The desires have been, by material desires has caused us to lose our intelligence. Maya parita jnana. Maya has stolen our intelligence. They surrender unto demigods and follow those particular puja rules of regulation according to their own natures. Those whose intelligence has been stolen by material desires. So materials, whatever we have for material things, we should in fact use it to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his devotees. And the funny thing is, the more we serve with what we have, material, the more the Lord provides more material for us to be able to serve. Because the Lord wants us to serve. So the means to serve will be made available. Krishna only looks at our situation, how determined we are to serve. And when we prove day in, day out that we are determined to serve Krishna and Krishna's devotees and Guru, he will make the arrangements. He will make the arrangements. But one thing we need to understand is that the arrangements are made by him, not according to our program. We may have desires to even serve him, but the details of how things actually become possible for us to use to serve Krishna, that's determined by Krishna. In other words, he tests our faith too in the process. We have to believe and want to be eager. We have to be eager to serve. And then Krishna makes, after a while, those things to make it possible to serve him available. Therefore, as he said in the nectar of instruction, we have to be patient. We have to be patient. And patience is challenged quite a bit in this world now, especially in the developed countries. All you have to do is just watch how people drive. Where's the patience? But it's all part of Maya. Sometimes we've been watching the streets in the cities. One traffic light, the next traffic light is some distance, a little bit away. And the cars are there, and the light is red, and people are just twiddling their fingers. When is it going to get green so I can move? And then they move, and they rush. And what happens? They get to the next light, it is red. And they come, stop, and then they wait again. And then the next light comes, green, and the next light is red. So then they just rush. And it's like, why are we torturing our minds like that? But this is life here, and we call it an advanced country. So we basically, those who have material desires, and they resort to the Supreme Lord, even those who have that, but they resort to the Supreme Lord, after a while, they're not so much attracted by these external nature things. Because then Srimad Bhagavatam educates us to approach the right goal. And then after a while, we become free of material lust. Everyone that has said yes to Krishna is going back to Godhead. It's only a matter of how long we're going to be here. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj says that when a person says yes to Krishna, it's the average of 3 lifetimes. They will go back to Godhead. We have been here in this world for millions of lifetimes. So 3 is very short, but we can make it shorter by taking the process seriously now so we can go back to Godhead. And that involves chanting Hare Krishna mantra, hearing Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. So if you're chanting and you're hearing, then you are in the right frame of mind to free ourselves, to free yourself from all the problems that material life gives all of us. You get out of it. So it's only less intelligent people who have lost their spiritual sense that take shelter of these demigods for immediate fulfillment of material desires. But those kind of people don't go to the Supreme Personality of Godhead because they are caught in ignorance and passion. Those desires are desires based on the mode of passion. But Srimad Bhagavatam, you may say, but why is it that Srimad Bhagavatam has listed these? Srimad Bhagavatam has made everything available about the earth, the material world, and also the spiritual world. And even there's a place that Lord Kapila talks about, Sankhya philosophy. Sankhya philosophy, where he reveals the material world for what it is, and reveals the spiritual life and the spiritual world for what it is, so that the intelligent person can make the right choice and take the spiritual over the material. It is there in the Srimad Bhagavatam because Krishna does not interfere with our free choice. If that's what you want, you'll get. But you'll also be told the end result of getting it. The end result of coming to Krishna means you go home and get away from all of these problems of birth, death, old age, and disease. And it's replaced by eternal happiness, bliss, the highest happiness, eternal knowledge, full knowledge, and also full life, no death, and no disease, no invalidity. That's what's there. And then when it comes to being access, having access of wealth more than even the universes combined, everybody has access to that, whatever you want. So then the more intelligent person would say, I'll go back to Godhead. On top of that is protection. The Lord gives so much protection. The example of in the Srimad Bhagavatam 7th canto, 5th chapter, how the Lord protected Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj's qualification that he was a devotee of the Lord. And he was convinced, he was among demons, and he was in school, and the demons' children were in school with him, and he was convincing them to become Krishna conscious, and he was being quite successful in convincing the children of the demons, the next generation, changing this whole demonic nature to a pious nature and Krishna conscious nature by convincing them. And his father, Hiranyakashipu, wanted to kill him. He couldn't. Why? Because the Lord protected him. Therefore, if we take Krishna's program the way it's been described by Srila Prabhupada, we are also going to be protected by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Prahlad Maharaj was being killed by his father. He was only 5 years old. His father could be very wicked. And many demigods were afraid of him, of Hiranyakashipu. He threw his son beneath the feet of big elephants. He threw him among huge, fearful snakes. He used destructive spells. He hurled him from the top of a hill. He tried to make all kinds of illusory tricks, as demons can do. Dhruva Maharaj found out later also. He gave him poison. He starved him. He exposed him to severe cold, winds, fire, water. He threw heavy stones to crush him. When we believe in Krishna, the protection would come. Hiranyakashipu failed in all of those to harm Prahlad, who was completely sinless, and all Prahlad did was to remember the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So now it's Hiranyakashipu that got into anxiety about how to kill him, what to do next. In the end, of course, the Lord came as Sringadev and protected his devotee. He came in a way to make it possible for Hiranyakashipu, who had gotten all of these boons through which he couldn't be killed. The Lord satisfied all of the boons, the conditions, and still killed him. So the Lord is there for those who are submitted to him. And so, yes, those things are there listed in the Srimad Bhagavatam, as we've seen in these 6 texts, because the Lord says, you want to do something different from me? You can do, but here's what's going to happen. Best to come to me. So this is the lesson that we have to learn. The conclusion is we need to stay with the Supreme Personality of Godhead in all aspects of life, and then we won't have an issue. We should think about Krishna all the time. If we don't think about Krishna, we can't go back home. The greatest wealth is in the spiritual world. It's not here. Nowhere in the universes. The greatest wealth is there. So when you think about wealth, that's reason to go back home. Don't worship demigods. Respect them. Respect them. They are assistants of the Lord. That we should. But worship for material things is not necessary at all. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you for hearing. Allow me to do the service now. We can meet ourselves if we want to. There is, if somebody wants to speak, there's also text in the chat section. But first, if anybody wants to unmute themselves and ask a question, share realization, or connect some dots, you can do that. Take home. Hare Krishna.
I think you could address the question in the chat first.
Okay, there's nobody to ask a question. So this question is for Hare Krishna Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept our humble obeisances. All glory to you, Prabhupada. Very nice purport in class. What else can be done? That's the question. What else can be done to educate others? Non-Gaudiya, that is non-devotees in our line, to establish Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, since the usual revealed scriptures don't reveal or they don't clearly reveal about him. Well, there are other methods in which what is disseminated. There are other methods. In Bengal, West Bengal, everybody knows Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now, when we chant the Hare Krishna mantra, we are submitting ourselves to Radha Krishna. And Radha Krishna is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So even if some people don't know him well as a Supreme Personality of Godhead, but they chanting Hare Krishna mantra, they actually know him. Why? Because Lord Chaitanya is Radha Krishna combined. But do what he tells to do. We go to school. Here's an analogy. We go to school, and there are books that are written in physics, in chemistry, in math, and so on. Do we really know the authors? No. Personally, no. But don't we take what they say? And study it, just imbibe it, and even take exams and try to do well what they have said? But do we really know the persons that wrote it? No. Lord Chaitanya, it's good to know Lord Chaitanya, not get me wrong there. But the point is, his message is chant Hare Krishna. So if you do what it says to do, then basically you've connected with him. Subtly, you've already connected with them. We can't even talk about subtly when it comes to these people who write material books. But the Lord is like that. When you mention the Lord's name by the Hare Krishna mantra, you have Radha Krishna. And you have Radha Krishna, you have Lord Chaitanya automatically. So, yes, some non-Gaudiya Vaishnava people, they know about Lord Chaitanya. But non-Gaudiya Vaishnava people don't know. So what we need to do is help everybody to see the importance of chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, and through the Lord's own way, they'll get to know him. They'll get to know him. Let's just imbibe the Hare Krishna mantra and preach that more, the need to chant. Everybody, that's what Lord Chaitanya says. Everyone who you meet, tell them to chant the Hare Krishna mantra. He didn't even say everyone you meet, tell them who I am. No, he just says chant the Hare Krishna mantra. Do that first. And everything else will come. Everything else will come. So for non-Gaudiya Vaishnavas, it's more important to chant the Hare Krishna than even getting to know Lord Chaitanya. That will come later. That will come later. But they've already, if they chant the Hare Krishna mantra, they've already set themselves on the correct path, the royal path of devotion, going back to God. Hare Krishna. But it's a good question, though. Very good question. Let's focus on chanting.
It's a very, very powerful question, actually. And thank you for explaining, because I was thinking along the same lines. Because if we look at Lord Chaitanya, not much, as Dear Krishna said, not much is revealed except for the CC. But at the same time, Lord Chaitanya, if you remember, is when we speak about his glories, he closes his ears.
Yes.
He doesn't want to know.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't want to know. He doesn't want to hear. He just says, Jeev Jago, just chant the holy name. Just, just tell people about the glories of the Lord and give the holy name. And I remember when I was, wow, for me, when I joined Krishna consciousness, even though I was raised Christian, just mingling with friends, we hear the name Krishna and we know it's God, but we don't hear the name Lord, Chaitanya and Nityananda. So when I joined the movement, I was introduced the chanting, simple, very simple, reading the books, chanting, prasadam. That's it. Very simple. read the books, chant, and honor prasad, right? And the more we chant the holy name, it's just like few years later down the road that slowly the Lord, and by the mercy of Guru and Krishna, we connect the holy name to Lord Chaitanya. And then we have this, this desire to want to serve Gonitai deities. So yeah, Lord Chaitanya did not say to worship me. He said, spread the holy name.
Yeah.
And from that, Krishna will make the arrangement for us to know who is Lord Chaitanya. He is
Yeah.
none other than Radha Krishna combined. And the most
Yes.
merciful at the same time.
He
Yeah.
came as a devotee. He came as a devotee. He had his reasons, the internal reasons for coming. That is connection with Srimati Radharani to get Krishna wanting to know what Srimati Radharani is in devotion. He wanted that. But the external reason that he wanted to show himself as a devotee, and show what a devotee should do in order to be a pure devotee of the Lord. There's a follow-up question from there, Krishna. So it says, thank you. Sometimes we see people come to ISKCON, even start chanting Maha Mantra, but after some time, switch to something else. Probably we can understand this as they have not been able to, they've not been able to develop faith in the Maha Mantra, or not following the chanting process properly. So now we come to, let's start it again. People come to ISKCON, so that connects us with Lord Chaitanya and the chanting. Even start chanting the Maha Mantra, but after some time, switch to something else. This is why we have the important things set up. They are the 10 offenses. And that's why in the temples, devotees are reminded of the 10 offenses by being actually asked to chant they recite the 10 offenses. If we chant and we violate the 10 offenses, then the chanting is going to leave us. It is literally going to leave us. And that when they may switch to something else, which means the faith is not there, but they're not doing the chanting properly also. So, one, we should not blaspheme devotees. We should not offend devotees. Two, we should understand the demigods that Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma, and for that matter, all the demigods, they are not at the level of Lord Vishnu. Three, the spiritual master should not be disobeyed, the Punabhai spiritual master. And four, the Shastra is also very important. We cannot blaspheme the Shastra. We can't use the Hare Krishna mantra as some sort of imagination or give our own interpretation to the holy name of the Lord. We cannot commit sinful activities and say, oh, I'm going to chant the mantra and the mantra will relieve me of those sins. We cannot use the Hare Krishna mantra as another one of those karmakandic, pujas that they do. Oh, this puja is there, that puja is there. I heard mantra, so this must be another puja for something that I want. And just like we're talking about today. And a person who is faithless, stay away from talking about the glories of the Lord to that person, because they are going to be offensive. And if you see that they are not open to that, get away from them. So the last one, which probably answers this question, is to not have complete faith in the holy name of the Lord. To not have complete faith. And therefore, and if you're not taking what the spiritual life is, then you're going to go to material life. But we've been told so many times, materialism makes us think about materialism at the time of death. We cannot go back to Godhead that way. And we also have to be attentive while we're chanting. Focus on it, at least get to that clearing stage. And so when we are aware of that, when we chant, then there's no, way of following this. These 10 offenses, make sure that we don't fall into any of those. There's no question of leaving the Maha Mantra, because it will connect us to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the Lord in His holy name. The Lord in His holy name. When we chant, we have Krishna. We have Radha, we have Krishna. So there's no question of leaving then, but the offenses can cause us to look elsewhere, because then we're taking it lightly. it lightly. And that is the problem, to think that the holy name is just we imagine all kinds of things. Well, it is not. The holy name is Radha Krishna. There's nothing else to imagine, or for that matter, not pay attention when we're chanting. So it is actually the 10 offenses that's the solution to it. Hare Krishna. Thank you for the good, very good questions.
Yeah, if
Hare
I
Krishna.
can add, very nice question, because I mean, I'm reminded of Mother Gita's always stressing attentive chanting, you know. So yes, it is definitely both, Prabhu. No, lack of faith in the Maha Mantra, because when we have lack of faith, then we don't chant properly. You know, the chanting process is not done. You know, it's like a package deal, lack of a better word. You know, if we don't have faith in something, and we can just use any other material, any example, not just, you know, Maha Mantra. If we don't have faith in a medicine that we are given, then we're not going to take the medicine on time. You know, if we have a health issue and we say, oh, but this medicine is not, no, I don't have faith in it. We will not, because the mind is such a rascal. We are not going to take that medicine on time. So same thing with the chanting. Is we don't have faith in the chanting, then the chanting is not going to be done properly. And that's why it is very important that we understand the Vaidhi Bhakti process. That's why we have Vaidhi Bhakti, you know, following the rules and regulations, you know, and sometimes we think after a certain time, years of performing Vaidhi Bhakti, we think we've perfected it. No, but your question is a very good self-assessment. Then why is it that I'm not getting, you know, I think Chandramani Swami was mentioning in one of his classes a few weeks ago, that every devotee should ask themselves, am I doing better? Am I doing better? Am I chanting better? Am I reading better? Am I engaging in more service? Am I like better, better, better? We should always be thinking better, 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 better. And if it's not going, if it's not increasing, that means our chanting is not good, you know. So it goes back to the faith, and like what Pariksit Prabhu said, that you know, when we're chanting, we should understand that we're asking for service. That's why Lord Chaitanya gave it to us, you know, Lord, please engage me in devotional service to you. So when the service comes and we say no, then we wonder, okay, why am I still not enthusiastic? You know, why is it that I'm not, you know, doing this, or, you know, whatever it is because, and interestingly, you know, and, you know, Balaram Jayanti is coming up, and we all know that Lord Balaram is the giver of spiritual strength. So why is it? Because spiritually, we're not strong enough, because our chanting is not strong. So it's very important that, you know, if we look at the 9 stages of devotion of Bhakti, Prabhu, you know, the first is Shraddha, faith. So faith is definitely very important. Once the foundation of the house is strong, then the whole house won't collapse. So yes, you know, it's both, Prabhu, the faith and the chanting and observing the offenses and following the rules and regulations, however long it takes. And I think the reason, Prabhu, like you mentioned, people start chanting and then they switch because they don't want to follow the rules and regulations. They don't want to follow the Vaidhi Bhakti. They just want to do what they want to do because they think they have mastered it. But we have to stick with the Vaidhi Bhakti process, and then we will not switch to something else. We just can't. You know, it's like, you know, Mother Gita always uses this example. When you're driving in the car, if you have a cop next to you, you'll make sure that you don't go fast because you had the cop next to you, because we're following the rules and regulations. So yeah, that's what's coming to my mind, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for adding to it. Very important. No need to repeat it. It's all very important. They're connected that way. We should watch the offenses. That's what will blow us away. Hare Krishna. Any other comments or questions? If not, then we'd like to thank you very much for coming on to share. And if hearing improves our lives, we take it, not just hear, but use it, you know, in our lives, then we will actually begin to be excited, literally excited about Krishna consciousness. Vanchakalpatarubhishya kripa sundibhya eva cha titanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful day and week. Hare
Hari Hari
Krishna.
Bol. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Glory to Srila Prabhupada. Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Samamataji. Hare Krishna. Jai.